Salt and Straws, Goosebumps, Monster Blood is back. All right, this one's kind of nostalgia for me, total nostalgia. I was a huge Goosebumps fan back in the day, the 90s. I don't know when I read Goosebumps, maybe when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, somewhere in the 90s. I'm an 80s baby, but 90s was my hell-raising stage. Anyways, I love Goosebumps and what R.L. Stine did as I was growing up. So this one is Slappy World, and Monster Blood is back. Sorry for the glare. But man, it's just like it was back in the day. The larger font, it even smells like it. I love the smell of a good book. Anyways, haven't read that book, but I've read a lot of Goosebumps in my time. A lot. What are we working with here? I mean, just check this out, little teaser. How cool is that? A lot of creativity going on. So we have a salted mango ice cream. And then the Monster Blood, which is obviously the green goo, is it's a play off of Fruit Punch. So we'll leave it at that for now. We'll dig in deeper in just a minute. And these pink chunks are strawberry bark fangs. You know, you got to complete the monster here. Yeah. So we'll get into what all that is. So digging into the base, it's not heavy on the mango. Hear me out. It's not terrible that it's not heavy on the mango. I didn't mean it's not a terrible base. It's a very good base. What's cool about it is it's salty. You don't see that much with a fruit-based ice cream. It's salty. It prevents it from not being too sweet, which, you know, can happen with a lot of mango ice creams. Do I get mango? Certainly. But the salt factor is just enough to keep it at bay. Keep it at bay without it being too overpowering for the rest of this ice cream. As far as the quality, it's the same old from Salt and Straw. Great density, premium, high-end, top tier, one of the best, creamy as all get out. It's a great base. Got monster goo on my britches here. Britches. I'm probably gonna catch heck for that. Anyways, moving on. Dang, monster goo. Monster Blood. Like I said, it's a play off of Fruit Punch. So let's break it down. They call it Fruit Punch. I've heard a lot of people calling it like overly sweet, and yes, it's sweet, but I don't think it's that sweet. Sweeter than the mango base for sure. However, what stands out the most to me are the citrus tones. I'm getting a lot of orange, which there is orange juice concentrate, and there's also pineapple juice concentrate. So more orange than pineapple. I do get this whole kind of like tropical citrus vibe going on here, which I think kind of builds on the mango base a little more. It helps to draw that out since the mango's saltier. And while this is sweeter, the Monster Blood is sweeter. It's more citrusy, tropical than anything. I mean, look at this pool here. I mean, it is, of course, some ice creams in there, but it is crazy. Oh, there we go. Crazy dense. It's like globby, sticky, gooey. I mean, check it out. And look, I'm pulling out that huge chunk, and look, I mean, it doesn't stop. Like, it's almost tangy bitter going back to the flavor. Like, I'm digging it. I'm really liking it. But extra thick, gooey. I mean, can kind of relate it to blood, I guess, you know? Dense, gooey, thick, sticky. I mean, imagine like a caramel, but super thick, like it's globby, like it sticks to your spoon type of thick and gooey. Now lastly are the strawberry bark fangs. And essentially it's strawberry coated with some white chocolate. It's like a strawberry chocolate, white chocolate to be exact. And cool thing about these, well, let me, hold on just a second. I don't, zero flavor, like seriously none. Maybe if you get a huge chunk, which I have a few here and I eat them alone, but I mean, that's not the point of eating ice cream. We all know that. Everything's supposed to mesh together, but maybe a little bit of white chocolate, more so than the strawberry. Flavor is minimal. They don't do much for this ice cream, but texture, pretty cool, important role considering the theme of the pint. Texture. First off, they're almost like, they're sort of soft, but they do have the slightest crisp to them. Almost like a wafer. Imagine like a semi-soggy, since it's in the ice cream, wafer. It's not terrible. It's not crispy. It's not chewy. It's like this slight crisp. Now, what's awesome is they have Pop Rocks in them. Like, there's no way you can hear it, but on my tongue right now, maybe you can. I know it's kind of gross, but you know, you got to get the full effect. It's cool. It's popping on my tongue, especially as an aftertaste. Like I'm sitting here talking to you after I've chewed it, I'm like getting these little pops. So pretty cool texture. Definitely one of the cooler textures I've had in ice cream. And I think it kind of just brings everything in this ice cream together, since it's a monster Goosebump based pint. In conclusion, I am digging the salted mango base, despite it not being the strongest mango. The salt is key because of that monster goo, monster blood. I keep calling them both. I mean, just because that flavor is sweeter and more tropical, citrusy, tangy. And then, obviously, the biggest downfall of the pint is the lack of the strawberry white chocolate flavor in the fangs, but they do have a awesome texture, a very unique texture to it that I'm a fan. As for Goosebumps, Monster Blood is back. I'm gonna give it my second favorite of the pack, slightly behind, I think it was Smiles, Words and Pictures, the almond infused cake one. Nonetheless, love the creativity here. Not to mention, it's got all the fruits. It's refreshing. So, highly recommend this one, especially the nostalgia factor if you were Goosebump fans growing up. Anyways, Goosebumps, Monster Blood is back. Gets an 8.5 out of 10.